I think there's a lift out
I
front.
was gonna say, I'll use my Uber app. Sorry, guys, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, there's an option you can take. Do you could read the comment and then do this one after. No, I won't leave it.
Yeah.
Leave them laughing.
Yeah. Okay, so, stage directions,
What's that? Exit last name?
Angela.
Well, we're backwards.
Hey, Judy.
Take care, Judy.
Thank you.
Cast Alzheimer's Diary. Steve Gold from Jamesburg, New Jersey. Hey, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Cast of characters: Susan Thatcher and Lucinda Thatcher, Susan's mother. Time: the present. Place: New York City. The downstage center portion of the stage is lit. The rest is dark. The setting is a Manhattan townhouse, represented by a stage right wooden chair. An elegantly dressed, stylish 60-ish woman sits in the chair and looks troubled. Several moments follow. She stands close to the center stage and glances about the room. Her name is Lucinda Thatcher. Yeah, it's a tough name.
Is it Thatcher?
No, it's Thaxter.
Oh.
Thaxter. Lucinda, it's no one in particular.
I think I have a problem.
Returns the chair and sits. The second one enters stage right. Lucinda's daughter, Susan, in her 40s, stylishly dressed like her mother, and with the nonchalant self-confidence of an aristocrat, as befits her pedigree. Upon entering, Susan proceeds to center stage.
Mother, are you ready?
Ready? For what?
Are you serious? The Monet exhibit at the Met.
I thought that was Thursday.
Today is Thursday.
Yes, of course.
Come on, get ready.
Before we leave, can I speak with you?
About what?
About a number of things.
Such as?
Lucinda stands, moves to stage right.
I was in my office this afternoon. I was proofreading a brief I had written, and
For what?
I forgot where I was.
What do you mean?
Just what I said. I forgot where I was.
Really, Mother?
I tell you, it happened to me.
How can one forget where they are?
I sat there, and everything went blank. I could see perfectly well, but I didn't recognize what I was looking at.
Doesn't make any sense.
Don't you believe me?
I believe you. I'm sorry, Mother. So you went blank. What of it? I'm absent-minded myself.
This is different.
I don't think so.
I do. It's not the first time it's happened, either.
It isn't?
No, it isn't.
To stage right.
I was in court a week ago, making my summation before the jury, and it happened.
In the courtroom?
In front of everybody. I didn't know where I was, or who I was.
Did anyone notice?
The judge did.
What did you do?
At first I couldn't do anything. Everyone's staring at me. The judge asked me if I was all right.
What did you do?
Nothing.
You just stood there?
What else could I do? But then it passed quickly. I knew how I was again, and I got through the summation.
Did you speak to the judge afterwards?
No.
Or did the judge speak to you afterwards?
No.
Did this ever happen before last week?
It may have.
It may have.
Maybe it did, once or twice. I was scared to tell you.
Why should you be scared?
Wouldn't you be?
Perhaps. I don't think it's anything to worry about.
You don't?
You're too young to have those sorts of problems.
What sorts?
Dementia. Senility.
Yes, they happen to older people, 80s or 90s. I'm not that old.
So, don't worry.
Perhaps I should see a doctor anyway.
concerned about this, aren't you?
I can't help but not be concerned.
Well then, just set your mind at rest. We'll go see a doctor.
Yes. I'll go.
I'll make an appointment.
Thank
Don't be concerned, Mother.
you. Easier said than done.
It's nothing, Mother.
That's right, nothing at all.
Lights down. A moment passes. Lights up, same set. 2 years later, Susan and Lucinda enter upstage right. Susan leads Lucinda to the wooden chair and sits her. Both are dressed as before. Lucinda is now slack-jawed and looks more confused than when last seen. A subtle sense of despair punctuates the scene, emphasized by dim lighting.
Mother? Mother? It's me, Mother.
You?
Yes. How are you? Oops.
Oh, how are you?
I'm fine, Mother.
I'm glad.
You hungry?
What?
Are you hungry?
What?
Are you hungry?
I don't think so.
Don't you know for sure?
Do I have to eat?
You don't have to do anything.
Promise?
Have I ever forced you to do anything? I haven't.
That's nice.
I'm not in prison, you know.
Have I ever been there?
Certainly not.
Have you?
I'm in prison now.
Are you?
Solitary confinement.
Escape.
No escape for me.
That's a pity.
I'm not complaining.
Oh, Laura. You should. You'll feel better.
I have no right to complain.
Why?
You're my mother. That's why.
That's no reason.
It's enough for me.
Go ahead. Complain. I don't mind.
People like us never complain. It's bad form.
If that's how you feel, then goodbye.
Stands, takes several steps toward the upstage right exit until Susan stops her.
Where are you going?
Home.
You are home.
I am.
Yes.
I knew it looked familiar.
I should hope
Susan
so.
leads Lucinda back to the chair.
It looks very nice.
Sits.
The room?
Yes.
It is nice.
I like the furniture.
You picked it out.
I did.
Every piece.
I have good taste.
Indeed.
I live here.
Yes.
How long?
Crosses the stage left.
50 odd years.
That's a long time.
I grew up in this house.
Were you happy?
I was never happier.
I'm glad.
I should never have left.
No?
I should have stayed a child. You do it like Peter Pan.
Why did you leave?
I got married, Mother.
Are you mad at me?
No, I'm not mad.
You sound mad.
I'm not. It's just sometimes I forget.
Forget what?
Forget how you are.
I forget too.
Not the way I do.
You're not mad at me?
No.
I used to be a good tennis player.
Why did you say that?
It came to me all of a sudden.
You remember playing tennis?
Yes,
But you don't recognize this house.
not right now. Isn't that funny?
To stage center.
Do you ever remember me as a girl?
Sometimes.
Now?
Bit in pieces.
What do you remember?
Are you interested?
Yes.
I remember nursing you.
You do?
Brought me great pleasure. The way your mouth fastened onto my breast. A tingling feeling. I never felt so happy, so alive. I can still see it in my mind. I wish it could last forever. Isn't that the damnedest thing?
It took until now for you to tell me this?
I never did before.
Never.
I should have. How foolish of me.
It's all right, Mother.
You're not mad at me now?
Why do you keep asking me?
Because I didn't tell you until now.
I could never be mad at you.
Promise?
You're all I have, Mother. There's no one left anymore.
No one at all?
No one.
Aren't you married?
Not anymore.
Do you wear makeup?
What does that have to do with it?
That's why you're not married anymore.
Because I don't wear makeup?
That's it. That's why you're never married.
But I was married.
Oh, how nice.
I just told you, you don't remember?
No,
You remembered last year.
I don't this year.
We divorced.
You must be a very difficult person.
You live with me. Am I difficult?
I'm not sure.
Of course it-
What do you mean you're not sure?
I'm not sure of anything.
I'm not sure of anything either. I wonder what Father would say about all this.
Whose father?
My father, your husband. I wonder what he would make of it,
Make up what?
seeing you this way.
Where is he?
He's dead.
Oh, dear.
That's right. Oh dear.
When's the funeral?
6 years ago.
How time flies.
Yeah, now more than ever.
Did you love your father?
Very much so.
He was nice?
Yes.
Did he love me?
A great deal.
Was he handsome?
I thought so. Everyone did.
I would never marry an ugly man.
Don't worry, you did.
What was his name?
William James Thaxter.
James.
He was named after the philosopher William James.
Was he a good philosopher?
Quite good.
I would hate to be named after a bad philosopher.
Heaven forbid.
I try to remember things. I really do.
Stan's moved to stage center.
I know I've lived a life. I'm sure I have,
You have indeed.
but I can't remember. Sometimes I remember parts of it, but mostly it's a dark room.
Getting darker.
There's something the matter with me, isn't there?
There is.
I can tell I'm not that far gone. Not yet.
I'm doing what I can.
I'm so sorry
For what?
for being a burden.
I never said that.
I feel like I am.
You could never be a burden to me. I can't say it. You're my mother. You gave me life.
Do you have children?
I had a son, Spencer.
Where is he?
He died 6 months after Father.
It's terrible to lose a child.
So they say.
Are you lonely?
Steps downstage.
Yes?
Is it because of me?
No.
I'm lonely.
I wish I could do something. Maybe this new doctor can help us.
What new doctor?
One we saw yesterday.
Was he nice?
I suppose so. What does it matter if he's nice or not?
Maybe I'm not sick after all.
You just said there's something the matter with you.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Think so?
Yes.
What's my name?
Your name?
Yes.
Let me see. Susan.
You chose it yourself.
Did I?
Yes.
I should write it down. Could you bring me a pencil and paper?
Susan slowly crosses to Lucinda at stage center, hugs her, kisses her on the cheek.
Oh, big baby. That was a kid. Okay, what do we want to tell Steve Gold?
I know, right? Double duty there.
Besides 2 tissues. What'd you think?
I missed the last 5 or 6 lines, I couldn't hear them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know.
We were talking to each other.
It sounded
Yeah.
like something good was happening.
I think I lost
Yeah,
it.
it's tough because that's the way you wanna play it,
Yeah.
you know, but when you're on a stage,
Yeah, you have
you
to
gotta
go
project to the back, so it is tough.
I couldn't get it out. Yeah, well, you were having an emotional issue.
It is so difficult to act that way quietly,
Yeah.
With volume.
with
With
volume.
volume, yes.
Oh,
yes.
so difficult.
Yeah.
Anybody can yell.
Yeah.
I thought the dialogue was very authentic.
Yes.
Yes.
And I thought they did a great job, they seemed very
It was
real, and
wonderful.
they seemed connected.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm glad about? I'm glad he didn't do the next scene,
Right,
which some people feel they have to do. The next stage, where Susan comes in and
Yeah.
absolutely there's nothing. Because so many people live with that and we know that's coming, but we don't need to have it.
But dramatically, there's no response from mom, you know, or it's just gibberish.
Yes,
And
yeah.
yeah, it becomes a
Yeah.
monologue.
we know what's coming, we know what's coming next.
Right,
We wanna see the transition.
right. So I think this was nicely done as a transition
Yes.
2 years later, which can be in the program.
The daughter was caring, she didn't get upset, and, I thought it seemed quite real.
You look like you wanna say something.
Huh?
You look like you wanna make a comment.
I couldn't hear that much of it,
Oh,
but,
I'm sorry.
but I did hear, I like the conceit of using person asking a question to get deep. It could have been a whole play by itself, just using a seat like, did you have a son and things.
Yeah.
It could just bring out a lot of, it could really be a full-length play.
But you know what I thought was good was the playwright in this. Sometimes when you have those questions back and forth, that one person that's asking the question is just waiting there for like the 2 paragraphs to get the story out, because it's easier, I think, sometimes to have the person tell the story all at once. Versus this, I thought it had like a very nice balanced approach. I think you're absolutely right that it was very authentic.
Right.
Because it wasn't just like, oh, and my son, and this, and that, and whatever else, and then you're like, wait for the next question. Right? Like you
Yeah.
sometimes see
Yeah.
that.
Came out.
Yeah,
Little
more
at a time.
organically, I think.
Well, when it's directed, there'll be certain points when mom will just go,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Right.
and she'll like have a moment
Right.
where is she?
Yeah.
Oh, and then she's back,
Right.
Right.
you know.
What I was thinking was, at some point during you began to wonder, is her memory, what I'm trying to say is that at some points you wonder, has she just had a memory blackout and she's trying to cover?
In the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which probably a lot of people with Alzheimer's do. They do not want to look like they're embarrassed, and they also think they can will holding on.
Oh, yeah.
But she's obviously a very bright person, an attorney,
Yeah.
pleading cases, so the transition is very difficult.
Just had a thought.
Yeah.
By the way, I think it's very sensitively, or it could have gone into sentimentalism, but it didn't.
No.
It was sensitive. But it just struck me, that the daughter, who's at first trying to talk her mother out of having this, she might be frightened that she's seeing herself in 20 years, and that's a dimension that wasn't played.
Yes.
in-
That's a very common thing. I know people who have had Alzheimer's in their family
Yeah.
and were concerned that
Yeah,
this, one memory lapse and there it goes, I'm starting. You
Yeah,
know.
but tell me, that's simply portrayed, just, the daughter turns away, and steals herself and turns back to her mother, so that
Yeah.
easily.
And she does get angry. I mean, you were very emotional, but there is a point where she does get angry, and the mother says, "You angry with me? No, I could never be angry with you."
Frustrated.
Damn it,
Right, no, I
She's-
could never be angry.
She's living in the house that she grew up in, with her mother who's failing, and, gotta be angry, and lost her husband, lost her son, lost her father, she's gotta have some anger in there. It's only 2 years that we're talking about here, so.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of anguish from the daughter, because mom's all that's left in my life.
Yeah.
What happened to the son?
What happened to her husband? Well, they're divorced.
Yeah, divorce, and
Well,
the son died,
That's-
6 months after the father.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We can think anything we want to
Yeah.
the child.
No, she does say it.
And so
She
she-
says the
died.
son died.
Yes, we know that, but the
After
mother
father.
would,
6 months later.
she wouldn't have, would you have asked, you had the wherewithal to say, you have any kids, would you say, would you have said what happened?
Maybe depending on like how long the play is too, right, and how much they wanna continue, but I think for like a
think
couple
there's
of pages,
some
it's
sort of
really
balance.
balanced.
Yeah, I think it was a
And,
nice
right, like,
balance, and even though 24 pages,
Because
because
it's
the
short,
lines
because
were
of-
very
It
short, it
felt
did
I
not
could have
go
put that
on.
in 12 pages.
Yeah, well, single spaced.
Yes.
Okay, so now you get your prize.
Oh, oh, oh.